Things Fall Apart. I am Frank 5D. I'm here with the WORKLOAD Poly Rob. This is Things Fall Apart. What up, champ?
Yeah, feeling good, man. Things fall apart. How you feeling?
Feeling good, like always, man. First things first. YG versus the game. Compton forever.
Let's get right into it, man. It's crazy because from the previous verses, I think that was B2K and Pretty Ricky. That was actually a good verses, and it was another showing of how we get this versus thing wrong all the time. You know what I mean? So now Fast forward to YG in the game. Hopefully we can really understand what this is. Let me explain real quick. Okay, so some of the best verses we probably had, let's name them. Dipset and the Locks, right? I would say Jeezy and who was that? That was Jeezy and Gucci Mane, right?
Yep.
Even the very first verses, which was Swizz Beatz and Just Blaze. The one thing that I think we always get hyped up on when we first see the matchup is who got the bigger records, who has a more popular career, right? So in this case, it would be Game has had the more popular career, worldwide, if we just put it into a worldwide context, right? But when we watch these verses, we forget a couple of elements. Number one, verses is not just about the songs. It's also about how you put together your set list, how you lay out your records as opposed to who you're battling against. Like when we take the first verses with Swizz Beatz and Just Blaze. Just Blaze was playing fire, but Swizz Beatz knew what to do after Just Blaze played his records. He also knew when to throw in a certain B-side cut or to throw in a certain type of exclusive that we probably never heard before. There's so many elements to a verses that's just more than get on stage, play your records, and hopefully the crowd recognizes or remembers how great the song was.
Right. It's an emphasis on curation and also performance too.
Right. And that's only like performance part, I say give or take, because if both sides are not into fully performing the whole song or doing lyrical free exercises or whatnot, that's to each his own, right? So every verses, you're not going to get somebody overly performing. That's just part of the conversation when they did the deal, or it's really like, you know what? We're going to let the music do the talking, because, a lot of verses, they let the music do the talking. You know what I'm saying? Brandy and Monica did that. You know what I mean? They let the more sort of music do the talking. But in this YG game, the one undertone about verses is that people who really like their artists or whichever artist they tune into, they don't just like them for their hit records. They like them for the other elements of art. Right. I don't know where this YG and Game versus is taking place, but if it take place anywhere in California or in LA, Hollywood, anywhere around that Southern California,
it's going to be an entire turnout.
It's going to be a totally different outcome. Right now it says YG 47, the Game 53. First off, that's a lot closer than I thought people was going to say.
Me too. But YG has a bigger commercial appeal, I feel. So, the number don't really look that terrible to me.
Right. But people forget that YG had an entire era along with other artists, New Boys, Cali Swag, Dick, Joe Moses, Problem. That's a whole era of like fun West Coast music.
Right.
I don't think people realize how infectious fun music is. Yeah. Game has an extremely great catalog. Fire. In my opinion, I would have Game's catalog as more I would say more popular worldwide, but YG's catalog is a bunch of fun music. So people that's from LA that's in that building DPG, West Side. They finna go nuts. They finna go crazy.
YG versus the Gang, Compton Forever, July 23rd, just coming up in 2 days. The West Coast takes center stage on July 23rd for Compton Forever, a monumental versus matchup between YG and the Gang. From the Gang's 2-decade-long catalog of timeless hits, Hate It or Love It, It's Okay, One Blood, to YG's no-skip playlist of modern West Coast anthems, Who Do You Love, Toxic. This is a historic celebration of undeniable classics from Compton, California. Lock in, pick your favorite, and witness history live. During the event, fans can visit Complex and vote for each round.
Man, and then on top of this, see, this is one thing people don't take into consideration. A lot of games beginning hits was with 50. Are you going to perform 50's part? Are you going to say the hook to go ahead and envy me? I'm rap's MVP. Both of them say it on the song. But remember, that's 50's brainchild. That song is 50's brainchild.
Right.
Probably about 4 or 5 of the hit records on the Game's first album is 50's brainchild. Do you want to give him that kudos and play those? I'm pretty sure you are. But
there's
it's like
a video of him going kind of viral of him performing it. It's a brand new video. It's of a performance just a few days ago where he's performing that very song and he's performing 50's part.
Yeah. So that means that wherever they're doing this event at, that means that in my opinion, in order for Game to kind of pull off this win, people have to be really, really vested in all of his records on stage, like as the crowd. The crowd have to remember this, have to remember his records, his greatness, his era, his run. What do you think, in my opinion, your opinion, what do you think the age bracket will be at the actual event? It's going to be more fans for YG or more fans for Game?
I think because of the type of industry event that Verzuz is, it's going to be more of a Game-centric crowd. I think so. Something's just telling me. I don't know. It is the summertime, so everybody's outside.
I think the people backstage, yeah, you know what I'm saying. But I think in that crowd, it's going to be people who probably resonate, in my opinion, with the Ratchet era more than the Game era. Because you got to remember, the game era was pretty much before at least the first 3 albums, right? And they're great, but I feel like the crowd is going to be more YG centric. My nigga. Then you got the record with Nipsey Hussle. You got a bunch of joints that people can resonate with. It's going to be a better version I think people give credit for, because of course Game, one of the top lyricists ever, like for me in hip hop, you know what I mean? But that's based on what type of crowd is in the stands. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the crowd, especially a West Coast crowd, no disrespect, but I don't know if they have a hip hop West Coast crowd that's going to resonate to Game doing freestyle, a cappella on stage, or to Game playing records that was, diss records against people. Like, I don't think they're going to be more into that as opposed to YG's coming to party. He coming to play all joints. Sure. He's gonna turn it up. You know what I mean?
He gonna wear some dumbass shoes. He coming to party. Yeah.
He finna wear something crazy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they pretty much gonna have the same. Of course, because of the blood card, they're gonna have some of the same people that they know. Of course, it's gonna be a great celebration. I didn't think that this was gonna happen. I would have thought that Game would have did, Game versus 50 or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's we always Verzuz when it comes around, it always makes us kind of think about who would have been the better matchup or whatnot. And a lot of people are saying YG versus Tyga.
YG versus Tyga would have been good though. That would have been good.
Yeah.
People Tyga. Tyga got records.
Yeah, he does.
Records and every time you think he gonna go to the back and his career is quote unquote over, he come back with a new slap. Every time. And I mean, it would have been a good one. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved to see YG and YG and Joe Moses. That would have been a good one too. to be honest with you, in the
You think
perfect
Joe
world,
Moses is versus material?
huh?
You think Joe Moses is versus material? You think he's big enough for versus?
I mean, if you're gonna do YG and Game, I think Joe Moses has a. I'm not saying it's a better catalog than Game. I'm saying he has a more relative catalog to YG to do verses against. You know what I'm saying? They make the same type of records. You know what I'm saying? They this in the same type of era. They both had their popularity. And I think if you're gonna do regional, like really get regional with it, you know what I'm saying? That's what I would think. But I mean, I would have loved to see something that was more so like I would love to see YG and probably Bay Area artists that has the same type of like track record in the Bay regional. You know, I don't know if I don't know who would that be, but if it was a Bay Area artist that had a good track record like that, like a Filthy Rich or something like that, you know what I mean? Like maybe, I would have loved that, and maybe not actually Filthy, but somebody along those lines that's very popular in the Bay regionally. I would have loved to see that type of energy too, because then what happens is YG gets to popularize his catalog to the Bay, and then vice versa. That Bay Area artist, whoever that might be, can popularize their sound and their music to in California. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, regardless of whatever verses you want to put together, the Verzuz company wants a catalog to go up 200-300% like these other verses have. You know what I mean? That's what you want. You want for other demographics to tap into your music, not just the same demographic. So, I feel like even with Game doing this against YG, I don't feel like Game really has anything to gain, say. You know what I'm saying? YG can gain the fact that he possibly may have beat Game in the verses. That's a possibility. Game don't get from winning against YG. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say Game would have been better off, battling with somebody from the East Coast or somebody who had a catalog similar to him in another region or another state. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I think YG's got it probably just based on commercial appeal, and like you said, he's coming to party. I think that's going to be the atmosphere and the vibe. We're going to see. It's coming up in just a couple of days, and that's what I'm talking about. Verzuz keeps going strong. I remember it feels like just yesterday when I came up with the idea to start it, and then I told Timbo about it, and then him and Swizz B stole the idea from me. So,
no, for sure. I mean, the ones who come to party and have a good time, they usually the ones who end up winning. Like even with the Locks, like the Locks came to have a good time, and it did certain things that Dipset didn't do or probably just wasn't prepared for.
Right.
If YG's smart, take this versus battle 100% serious. Get the best DJ you can blend with, put together a great set, have some other ideas in the mix, whatever you want to do, put it together, because that will do a lot for. He just dropped the album. So if people are going to listen to his catalog, his previous catalog, they're going to run into his current album as well, which is great. Game, when was Game's last album? Last year?
A year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
I mean, that's still cool, but would want to have something currently out or drop something directly after. You know what I'm saying? Like drop a record directly after, that works as well. And especially if you drop it within the time of people running up your previous catalog. So that works. But I mean, kudos to them, salute to them, and let's see what it is. Let's follow it up after the battle.
Shout out to them both. And let's all have a good time. Speaking of have a good time, it's still summertime.
Right.
Next question, moving on. What does it mean, or what's the benefits of having the song of the summer?
So we talk about Young Miami right now?
Basically, we might be leading somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. Having experience of being a part of a record that's just a hit record, first off, that's a major thing, because you're constantly hearing the work and the product that you put together. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's radio, whether it's, going outside and people playing in the cars, that's a big thing. What it does for you on the business side and the artistry side is it opens up the world for you to do so many different things, whether it's features, like a possible remix with somebody big. I'll tell you a story about that. But the record just makes you ultimately attractive for business deals that have so many people coming at you with opportunities. That's what a hit record does. When you have a hit record, which is also the song of the summer, it raises the bar a little bit more because this is a song that people want to play because it resonates with what's going on in this particular time frame. That's why a lot of major artists, we check out the Drakes of the world, the Snoop Dogg's of the world, the Jay-Z's of the world. When they have some of their biggest records, it's usually they drop it in like the springtime and it transfers into the summer and it ends up being the song that you play for the summertime. Right. That's a big thing because you can monetize off that like heavily on so many different levels, not just radio and not just sales, but now these TV slots are trying to incorporate your song a part of it. You know what I'm saying? There's content that want to use your song. There's commercial slots that want to use your song. There's festivals, all the different concerts and the festivals, they want to bring you out on stage just for that one song. Young Miami just did that at Summer Walker's show. At Summer Walker's concert. She came out and performed that one song. That does so much for your career moving forward because at a point in time, it takes on its own life more popularity from a standpoint of this song is attached to a memory or attached to a summer we all had a good time. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you can remember like at least one of the summers when you was in high school. Like, what was the song of that summer that you had an excellent, long time? One of mine was, and I was young still, but one of mine was Will Smith, summertime, and then Dove Shack, you know what I'm saying, summertime in the LBC, like that. There was records that, like even California Love, like by Dre and Tupac, when California Love,
that was 96, 97 maybe.
Yeah. 96, 97.
Mine was just a little bit before that. What comes to me is it wasn't actually billed like a song of the summer, but it was popping during that summer was Tupac, I'll Get It Right.
For sure. For sure.
Shorty that I was pushing up on and everything. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, even the style of how you approach women, certain songs will set you in that whole pocket. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where this is where culture is continuously built. Now, I'm not saying that because the song like Young Miami says, where are my scam ass niggas at, that everybody's gonna start scamming, because that's beside the point. What I'm saying is the feeling of the song makes you want to spend money. That was her original task at the song. Spend that shit. That's what it's about. And what she's saying is, and I mean, everybody got their own interpretation. In my interpretation, what she's saying is, instead of, she could have used any other word but scamming and it would have meant the same thing. What she's saying is, where's the people who are taking chances, trying to get money on every level? Sometimes you might take a chance at your job by doing something extra, staying more hours, doing more overtime, taking on tasks that you normally don't do, or that's not a part of payment skill set at your job. Where are the people who are taking extra chances to get more money? Hold on to it, spend it. You work so hard for it, spend it. That's what I think about when I think about the song. At this time right now, like, yeah, like, you work hard for that money, man, go ahead and spend that. Of course, you got to save, yes, and that's always a thing, but not enjoy yourself, enjoy what's going on. That's what I think about when I think about the song, and it's definitely a song of the summer because people are, they getting mad. You know how it is when it's summertime. They want to put money into their newest car that they got so it can shine during Sunday fun day when they're on Crenshaw, or buy that new house, or buy something new for your kids, like get them in the best school, whatever it might be.
Well, we'll see. I wish the best for the song of the summer. Hip hop is not represented very big when it comes to song of the summer, over the years. So we kind of got to designate our own, most definitely. Like let's start up a share right here. We got a list, of course, from Billboard. We love when Billboard makes a list, but this one is actually really relevant to the topic. It is the last songs of the summer. Just to show, like, there's no hip hop from 2025. We could say Luther, Kendrick Lamar, but that wasn't so much of a hip hop record. I do remember Pink Pony Club being every damn where last year.
For sure.
That's from 2025. 2024 I had some help from Post Malone, again, not very hip hop. Not Like Us was definitely the song of the summer that year. That is one of the standouts. $1 Million Baby was up there. I remember
Not Like Us was one for sure. $1 Million Baby, same thing.
Let's see, 20 3. Last night we got Luke Combs, Rema, Miley Cyrus, Lil Durk, All My Life, and J. Cole. Okay, I remember that. One song we getting probably each year, one hip hop record as song of the summer.
Right.
News. I remember Kill Bill was everywhere too.
SZA was going crazy. Right.
20 Money 2. Harry Styles, Lizzo, Future. There we go. Wait for You. First Class. Yeah, Jack Harlow. I do remember that record being everywhere. Maybe I should. So, but yeah, we're getting one hip hop record a year, so I guess that makes sense.
Right, and even still, like keep in mind that first off, shout out to Billboard for having lists of that magnitude. Yes, there are records that are worldwide. There are records that are American based, and then records that's pretty much for the streets or a summertime fun time. Like, that's the beauty of having a song of the summer, is there's not a particular style of song to make, but when it gets popular for people to say, hey, you know what, I want to use this to energize my day. That's what it's about. It's not even about some in particular. It's energizing your day during the summertime. You know how it is. I mean, I come from the Sandlot era, so you already know, once you out of school and summertime hit, whatever that music is playing that's getting you to go outside, that's getting you to put on your best fit or go hang out with your people, whatever that song is that galvanizes the people, that's the song of the summer. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And it doesn't have to be a party song, doesn't have to be a song that's talking about something derogatory. It just needs to connect with what people are doing in the current state of whatever being. You know what I mean? And just on the artist side, like, I'm not somebody, as a producer, I'm not somebody who tries to chase hits or tries to create or make formulas to chase hits, because in my opinion, I feel like organically working with artists and naturally just doing records of what they feel, a hit record could come out of it. But there is a but. There are times when you understand, when you're in a particular pocket with that artist or with that producer, and you guys are creating something you feel like a majority of people can understand and resonate it. When you get to that point, there are certain things that you can do to assure that it becomes a popular record. Not saying it's going to always happen like that, but if you have a record that has a good phrase in the hook and you're repeating it a couple of times, you may say, you know what? I'm going to keep this record simple. I'm not going to do too much, because where it's at right now is already infectious. Sometimes when people get records and they listen to it, and then they might over rap it, or they might over exude, levels of lyricism and cadence and different things to try to be the perfect artist on the song, where the song really only needs for you to just be a part of it. Some records you just got to be a part of. It's not even about trying to be the best quote unquote artist and the best lyricist on the song. No, you just have to be a part of this song. You know what I mean? In the best
flavor, yeah.
dopest way. And it'll work out. You know what I mean? So when you get to that point, then you know, have fun and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing, you know?
Well, that's dope. I wonder where she's gonna land on, this year's list of songs of the summer. One definite benefit is what she's got here. Billboard has another list. Of course, we love these lists, and this is a more polarizing one right here. Mm-hmm. It is the 10 hottest female rappers of 2026 right now.
Okay.
And Young Miami ranks pretty high here. We're gonna go through it. Mm-hmm. Number 10, Megan Thee Stallion.
Okay. She definitely dropped. I mean, in my opinion, she's at the right spot because she didn't put out a lot of records that resonated with anybody. She's actually doing more content in TV than she is doing music, but more put her on the list for sure. Yeah.
She can rap her ass off, most definitely.
She can definitely rap her ass off. Don't never take nothing away from the Stallion when it comes to lyricism and actually putting lyrics together on the record. I think moving forward, just to say this last thing, moving forward, she should definitely link up with different producers from all different walks of life and just kind of create something new aside from what she's been doing before.
Most definitely. Dropped from number 6 from last year. Megan hardly has to rap anymore, and she will still be considered for this list. The Texas rapper has become a household name with help from her business endeavors like Popeyes and Hot Girl Swimwear. To TV appearance, Love Island, and Broadway appearance, Moulin Rouge, of course, and fans' fascination with her dating history. However, she did nab a charting single this year when she was featured on Juvenile's breakout banger, BBB. Kind of like that record. Which peaked at number 67 on the Hot 100. She's also elevated Boss Man D-Lo's Motion Party, appeared on the track DNA, More Than a Game, alongside Andrea Bocelli, David Guetta, and EJ, in celebration for the World Cup, which just ended. Yeah, so that's number 10. Molly Santana is number 9. I don't know much about Molly Santana at all, but she's the new Hannah Montana. Reverberates in my brain every time I hear her. Ran to Atlanta. Oh, she's on Drake's.
She's on the Drake last album. I heard that it was pretty cool. I don't know too much about Molly Santana to even see if this ranking is great, but whatever she's doing, she's making some type of noise because she's on this list. So shout out to her.
She was on the receiving end of the Drake stimulus package when she appeared on Iceman's Ran to Atlanta alongside Future. Earned her first Hot 100 entry at number 2. Congratulations. Bridging the mainstreams, raps underground, the 21-year-old delivered one of the more memorable sets of the weekend at Rolling Loud Orlando and Summer Smash in Chicago. Next up, she'll be on the road co-headlining North American tour with Northwest. That's pretty dope. Yeah. Number 8, YK Nisi. You do know her. Take me through there. Yeah. Nobody enjoyed a better rookie season than YK Nisi. YK Nisi in 2025 after barreling through hip-hop with standout appearances on Pluto's Wham Whammy, Metro Boomers, Take Me Through There, Trim's Boat Remix. Yeah, okay, I do remember that. Niece became one of the rap's most in-demand guest features. Her momentum carried into 2026 with appearances on Belly Gang's Cushington's Friends Do remix and the Baby's Pop That Thing remix. Okay, yeah, that's her too.
She was on that Pop That Thing. Hey, that was fire.
Yeah, I didn't know that was happening.
I'll just say this one thing. First off, Take Me Through There is definitely one of those records that could have been a song of the summer too as well. But I did hear her on the Pop Thing remix with the Baby, and I actually made a blog about that. I did a reaction video about that, and in that reaction video, you can go to and you see when she came up, her verse was fire. When Young Miami came up, her verse was dope on that. Young Miami's verse was dope on Pop That Thing, and I deliberately said, this is before the record came out. I deliberately said, hey, Young Miami, she can sing, but she needs to change the soundtrack of her music. Because she's on trap style beats. I was like, yo, do something fun, do something with a bop. I literally said that. You know what I'm saying? And she came out a couple weeks later and she's doing exactly what she's doing. And I'm not saying I'm the record whisperer or nothing like that.
You're the counselor, man. You're the counselor, probably right.
I mean, I am the counselor. But I'm saying that to say, I tell artists all the time, sometimes when you're a good artist or you're a great artist, it's not about what you've been doing. It's about what you can continue to do. Sometimes you got to change your soundtrack in order for people to resonate with you. It's not saying that what you've been doing is bad. It's just that sometimes, like for instance, in TV and film, depending on what film score is behind the scene, is depending on how somebody will feel when they're watching the scene. You can make the same scene between two people feel like it's comedy or feel like it's horror, depending on the music that sits under it, the score. So with rappers, take for instance, 50 Cent, when his career started, he was doing a lot of East Coast music, a lot of East Coast beats, of course, because he's from Queens, of course. The minute he came out with boom, 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 no shorty, soon as you come out with that West Coast joint, you to the roof. Because soundtrack changed. He didn't say nothing different. He's still saying gangster shit, but he was doing it over a different, better music, different ambiance, different production. And that's what took him over the roof. So for Young Miami, when she changed her musical soundtrack and made it a little bit more fun, upbeat tempo, she struck gold.
Well, you know, Wakanisha is doing sort of the same thing. You know, she dropped in rank from number 4 on this list, but the run that she's been on earned her a 2026 XXL freshman class, and you know, three BET Award nominations. Now the next step is clear, proving she can command the spotlight as convincingly as she steals it. More solo records and defining moment as a headliner would cement her status as one of rap's brightest young stars. Nice. So yeah, sounds like the same sort of prescription as you giving her. Number 7 is Trim. Trim is the little Nicki Minaj.
For sure. 100%.
The South Carolina Wonderkin makes her go ahead.
No, I'm just saying Trim is doing her thing. I did a couple reaction videos. She's nice. She's dope. I'm hearing inklings that Nicki Minaj and Trim don't too much care for each other. But man, listen, Trim, moving forward, I don't know if you're gonna hear this, but moving forward, just pay your respects and show love to Nicki Minaj, because that is her flavor, that is her style, and you continue on the mantle, for sure.
Whether South Carolina Wonderkin makes her debut on the hottest female rappers list, and the CGCY, newly minted XXL freshman, enjoyed breakout in 2025, detonating with a viral single Pope, propelled to hip-hop notoriety on Pooh Shiesty assisted. He was on the remix, wasn't he? Lyrical flair, Nicki Minaj coded delivery have positioned her as one of the rap's most intriguing rising stars. She's definitely young Nicki Minaj. Number 6 is Lotto. Dropping 1 rank, or gaining 1 rank. She was number 7 last year. Now she's number 6. Despite her amazing pregnancy and months out the spotlight, Lotto never went anywhere. Yeah, she had a baby with 21 Savage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. And I believe she said something about she was gonna stop rapping too. Like,
yeah, she said it was gonna be her last album. I don't think it's gonna be her last album, but I do think that she is sure she takes time out for her baby. I mean, the album that she put out was a dope album. It was fire. You know what I'm saying? She was being very vulnerable with some of the records and whatnot, based on just what she was going through in that time period. So, I mean, I think she'll realize she's going to be a better artist even after the baby. So continue to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Continue to keep going. I mean, but if she says she retired right now and she won't come back, I mean, Jay-Z did it. So you do it till you can come back.
Well, it says here that Lotto's cultural impact remained undeniable, landing on Essence cover and making a triumphant return to stage at the Essence Festival in New Orleans for her first performance since giving birth. That wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. And she's clearly one of the best female lyricists out there for sure. She's clearly one of the best.
We got Doechii at number 5, and that's down from number 2 last year. Of course, she did have a huge last year. As fans eagerly anticipate her first full-length studio album, Doechii has been busy easing the weight. The Grammy winner's profile raising over the past 6 months includes her partying with Lady Gaga on Runway, lead singles from The Devil Wears Prada 2, which I still haven't seen. Doechii reminds his fans of a powerful stage presence, several dates on Lollapalooza's South American Festival, including in addition to joining SZA's Ready or Not at 2026 BET Awards, tribute to Miss Lauryn Hill. Doechii also took home the award for Empowering Girl Get Up with SZA. Still like that, right?
Listen, people better put respect on Doechii name. They better put respect on Doechii name, because not only is she a talent with lyricism, I feel like she studied enough in her craft and the craft that came before her that she will undoubtedly probably make one of the best albums of the year at some point in time. I believe that for sure. At some point in time, she's going to have a rap album of the year, and not just like not saying that it's less than, but not just a female rap album of the year. She will have an official album of the year win, because what she about to do, like how she studies, how potent she is at her music and her image and her, we've yet to see her level of creative, because not only does she make dope records, but she also is stellar at her creative visually and things like that as well. So people playing with Doechii name, I understand why she went from number 2 to number 5, because if you take the past year, she hasn't dropped an official album within the past year. She's just been benefiting off of the records that she already put out. I get that. But yeah, shout out to Doechii and put respect on her name.
Most definitely. And it's crazy to think where she can still go creatively, because Alligator Bites Never Heals is one hell of a damn album.
Yeah. I actually think I think about her as like a Lauryn Hill, and I guess Lauryn Hill is SZA put together, kinda, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, the jury's still out there. We're still gonna figure it out. But she's dope.
Number 4, Mauna Leo, up from number 9 last year. Mauna Leo has quite literally been unstoppable in 2026. She closed out the year with the release of her Who Did the Body mixtape, which significantly raised her profile as putting you down. Yeah, she can put me down. Single Road NBA Youngboy remix to number 27 on A&R song. She embarked on a headlining tour in support of the mixtape, but had to cancel several dates due to an emergency procedure. Nevertheless, the Houston MC found her way back to the road, on the road as a supporting act on Summer Walker's Arena Conquering Still Finally Over tour. Mm-hmm. I think Mauna Leo is the only one so far that I'm not really partial to. I don't really like Mauna Leo.
You know, Houston MCs, especially female MCs, they got something to say. You know what I'm saying? From the Megan Thee Stallion to Ken the Man to Mauna Leo, like there's a lot of them out there that really put in the work. I don't know too much aside from me listening to the what is it? Put Her Down.
Yeah, Put You Down.
Yeah, that one, and then I heard her on the remix to Trim's Nobody. You know what I'm saying? She did her thing on that as well. I haven't heard too much, but I think I'm confident, and she's gonna be a force as well, because one thing about MCs, like I mean, just Texas in general, they got real spitters. They got people who really be spitting, men and women. You know what I'm saying? And they don't play about their music. Their music scene is very big. It's also one of those cities and states that you could actually be super successful there, and people pretty much don't know you other places. You know what I mean? Like you can be super popular there. Their radio scene is popular. I mean, you remember back in the days when they was doing what was his name? What was his name? Paul Wall and all of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, like they had a big music scene, and it only got recognized later on, after like years after they was already doing a thing. So I'm saying that she has the opportunity to do something great, and the fact that she did a big jump from number 9 to number 4, it tells us something. That at least she got something to say. You know what I mean?
As well as receiving a proclamation by the Houston City Council declaring April 24th as Leandra Rashawn Caldwell Day. Straight up and down. I don't sound like I'm hating. She's doing her damn thing. Definitely, I'm just too partial to anything that I've heard from her.
Right.
Big shout out to Mauna Leo. Number 3 is Sexy Red. She didn't have a race. This year, Sexy Red kicked off 28th birthday by releasing your favorite trapper rapper, your favorite trapper rapper. Reminding fans that the signature blend of humor, confidence, and unfiltered bars remains as entertaining as ever. Sexy Red definitely what am I trying to say? I've warmed up to her. You know, I can't still say that I still don't like her music, but you know, I found out a lot more about her in the past year, and she seems pretty cool. So
Yeah.
you know, never wanted a reason to hate on her except for you know that bullshit she was putting out when she first came out.
Right. I don't care to listen to her music, but it's still dope music. It's still good music. You know what I'm saying? Like she's servicing a selection of people who wants to enjoy themselves, you know what I'm saying, do the ratchet antics, have a good time, and she's serving her purpose and she's doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? I can't hate on that at all. You know, would it be something that I'll listen to constantly? No, but it's still dope. You know what I'm saying? She's putting out high quality music. You know what I mean? So shout out to her for number 3. I mean, I wouldn't disagree with that at all.
No, most definitely, and I see her every damn way.
For sure.
Number 2, Young Miami, Song of the Summer vibes. This is one of those things that Song of the Summer will get you. She was not ranked last year. What a comeback. Fans have more or less written off Young Miami as the last rapper to turn media personality once the City Girls decided to take a hiatus after their third album, Raw, flopped back in 2023. She now sees herself as one of the hottest rappers in the game as her single Spin That has not only become Song of the Summer, it has climbed to number 19 on the Hot 100 after debuting on the chart at number 66. That is a huge jump. On June 6th, giving her the highest charting record of her career as both a solo artist and as a member of the City Girls. Her comeback didn't start there. She joined the baby for his Twerk Fest Pop That Thing remix, of course, for further increasing her visibility in the rap scene. Her buzz with her buzz at a fever pitch earlier this month, while White Hot Miami slammed the brakes and exited Bossman D-Lo's Motion Party tour to focus on her upcoming solo album. Well, her tracks are so poppin', the New York Knicks tapped her to perform on the float during the championship parade.
You know what I'm saying? That's what the Song of the Summer do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Partying with the champs. See, all I got to say to you, Miami, don't stop. Lock yourself in the studio when you're not performing on stage somewhere and lock in. Tell all the producers, send me everything in your folders, up tempo, anything that's 88 and up. Send me all the gas, everything. If you think it's weird, send that too. Because she got to lock in with her team and create some of the most dopest, high-powered, energetic fun. Emphasis on fun music. This record that you made, Spin That, wasn't just catchy. It's a fun record. Have fun. I know you could, and I don't know her, but you could tell by how she talks with her show, on her interviews, with her personality. She likes to get out of her shell and have fun and do what she do. Right. Make the reflection of how you are when you're outside, put it into the music. The one problem that artists have is they don't lock in. When they got one, they don't figure out how to keep getting one. You know, I'm gonna be outside until they milk the entire record and they ain't got nothing else. Nah, lock in, get all the fire, definitely put together a Spin That remix. Tell the team to do the remix. And it's gonna be a combination of two things. And I wanna preference this. So first, I'll explain this first. When Cali Swag, you know what I'm saying, was doing Teach Me How to Dougie, I was the music, right? So when that record was taken off, everybody wanted to, try to take the beat and do something else with it. That's just what it was. But we made sure that the instrumental wasn't available until a certain point in time. And then we ended up, getting online and seeing that Jermaine Dupri did a remix. Right. You know what I'm saying? You know what this need me. You know what this need, you know what I mean? He came in. Seeing that, we like, oh, contacted Jermaine Dupri. He like, yes, man, run with it. Remix time. So now we're like, okay, who else we need to be on the remix? You know what I'm saying? Then we start contacting people. We ended up having 2 remixes. We had a remix with Jermaine Dupri, Bow Wow, and Red Cafe. And then another remix with Sean Kingston, and I forgot who the other person was. Try to remember. But so we had 2 remixes. Got on that immediately because that's what happens when a song is hot. People want to do verses all the time. So Young Miami, two things you got to do. Listen, open your ears to somebody who redid the remix that's of high quality. If they already did a remix or a version of it, just tell them, yo, let us use that for the official remix. And then you find some 2 or 3 people, men and women, to do the remix. You should have 4 people on the remix, yo, and go crazy, because what's going to happen is you put out that remix, the remix streams and sales are going to be locked in and equivalent to the original song. That's how you get back the charts again. That's how you keep the record going even longer. Right. All the while, you are continuing to work on new music. Keep that shit going, young man. Keep going.
Yeah, I was at the video shoot for the one with Jermaine Dupri for the Dougie remix.
Oh, you was there, yeah.
Thank you for always keeping me in the mix of things.
For
and
sure.
Yeah, shout out to Young Miami for appearing on this list. She definitely sideswiped the haymaker by staying out of all that Diddy drama for sure. To come back with the big anthem. Shout out to that. Number 1 on the list is Cardi B. She is returning number 1 from last year when Big Barty snagged the cover of the musical guest spot for the 1000th SNL episode on January 31st. The rap game should have known her foot wasn't coming off the gas after snagging her second Billboard number 1 with I Am the Drama. Cardi launched her Little Miss Drama tour in support of the record, headlining 35 arena shows across the United States and Canada. That track would spawn the Pretty and Petty Mute Challenge. The brothers say, I don't pay attention to that type of stuff. Found Cardi sharing her platform with rising stars like YK Nice and Natalie Nunn. Shout out to that. Grossed over $70 million from 453,000 tickets sold, according to Billboard Box Score. I'm not very partial to Cardi B, but she's funny. You know, I love anything into. Shout out to Cardi for real.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I like about Cardi is, and once again, I listen to some of her records, but one thing I love about Cardi is what she does is she puts her real character of who she is into her music, and it's hard to not love her. It's hard to not appreciate the authenticity in what she's doing. Like, even on her album, she went ahead and put together the bodega record. You know what I'm saying? The record that was for the bodegas and for her people. You know what I'm saying? Like, she did that on her album because that's who she is. Not to mention, you know, always constantly trying to give records where she talks about what she was going through. She talked about her divorce. She talked about dealing with somebody else. She talked about her kids. She talked about her friends and family that may try to do wrong by her. She talked about the happy times with being with people. She gave you everything. And even the title of the album is called Am I the Drama? She's questioning if I'm the one doing the bullshit. And then even in the records, she was saying, I'm doing bullshit. So love me or hate me. If that's not vulnerability that we would want from an artist at a point in time, it's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? So I love the fact that she was honest about that. She gave us bangers on the second album, and people can actually argue whether her first album or her second album is better. You know what I'm saying? So she did her thing. She's definitely number 1 for sure. And to be honest, not to continue to pit them against each other, but there was a point in time where we thought that Nicki Minaj was going to trample over Cardi B. We thought that was a no-brainer. But Cardi B willed herself into making great music, into continuing to be who she is. And now you can argue that she has developed herself into one of the elites aside of Nicki Minaj and not beneath her. You get what I'm saying?
Just look at this list. Cardi B is number 1. Nicki Minaj is nowhere on it.
That's what I'm saying. She proved her worth. She proved that she's supposed to be here. And that's all you really can do is prove you're supposed to be here. So shout out to Baby for sure.
Shout out to everybody on the list. I think the only one who actual music that I've pressed play on is Doechii. And I've played some Lotto too. I've definitely turned on a couple Lotto songs. Lotto has a couple records that I really like, but I don't listen to it. I'm a Tierra Whack kind of guy, of course. Rhapsody.
Tierra Whack. I'm gonna keep it 100. I just got put on true essence and creativity of Tierra Whack because I always thought that she was just a singer. Because the records that I came across with her on it, she was providing vocals and hooks and stuff on the songs.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize until somebody in my comments was like, hey, Rob, I know you're doing your channel. Do a reaction video to Tierra Whack. And I did that 2 or 3 times. She got one with Jill Scott out. That's fire.
Jill Scott had that dope ass album. Yeah, I was playing that for a while. Yeah.
Right. So I'm up on Tierra Whack now. I'm following her. I'm adding songs to my playlist for sure. You know what I'm saying? She's dope as hell. And there's other artists too.
Queens. It's Kumbaya.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Come on. Listen, and I you know, female MCs to just I'd rather say just actual MCs like, you know, Rhapsody. You know what I'm saying? Rhapsody is phenomenal. Like she just dropped her a God Got an Afro record. You know what I'm saying? Phenomenal. And she said one thing that always stuck with me. She was like, don't consider me one of the best female MCs. Said, consider me one of the best MCs. And that's real. And that's real. That's real. You know what I'm saying? Because she could take some people's heads off, you know. And I'm ready. We're all ready for a new Rhapsody album for sure. Yes. We're all ready for that. You know what I'm saying? You give it to us the end of the year or next year, we're ready for a Rhapsody album.
Yeah, most definitely shout out rap. And shout out to the MCs, all the MCs, the female MCs is specifically what we're talking about, but you know, just trying to continue what she was saying. Another one we got, probably last one we want to talk about is My Son's Letter to Hove.
Oh, I didn't watch the whole thing, but the first 6 lines, I'm like, okay, what you doing? Are you about to diss? Or you about to show love? What you on? I don't know.
Now, first, let me start by saying that ain't nobody better than Hov. You said a bar for bar as well. You and Nas, but as far as world impact in rap, you did that. You went from a kid that pitched crack and spit facts to a rich black mogul. In fact, your global impact should be studied. Because shit, we studied Reasonable Doubt. And the way you was weaving in and out of those beats and speaking about those streets, how we was trying to eat, moving work, doing dirt without no cleats was masterful. That's why 30 years later, those masterpieces are so classical. And the stature you acquired deserves to be admired because you inspired a generation. You showed us that dedication could lead to elevation from a project boy that sold illegal medication to Hov, the cultural leader of a nation. And you gave the streets education and a revelation that escaping death and incarceration was more than a possibility. You embraced the responsibility of breaking down doors and invading corporate America, using punchlines and similes to break it down for us. You did exactly what you told us. You made them pay for what they did to the Cold Crush. Nice. But heavy is the head that wears the crown. Now, everywhere you turn, they trying to tear you down. You either Illuminati or being sued by somebody or somebody talking about you while they being interviewed by somebody. Lucky you. Like you described in Lucky Me, but you still navigate through it like a fucking G and they act like they don't fucking see how you've been standing up for blacks. Silently, standing in the gaps from Trayvon and Cap. And I know what really happened with that, but we ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the facts on how you've been fighting for blacks for real. Bringing niggas back home from jail and silently funding the movement and fitting the bill and still taking the shots from your own. At the top of the throne, you all alone, but it don't make you immune from the pain. When the same culture you fought with the vultures for is trying to ruin your name, that shit gotta hurt. I know because it hurts me. It hurts to see, but it also hurts to be the subject of such slander. When you frontlining for your people and these suckers talk about you in such a manner, that shit be mind-blowing. You try not bothering even responding. But you're a man with pride, so you decide to bust back like, fuck that. And I love that. But this time you shot your own allies, ho. Because we was the ones boycotting. We had our people avoiding shopping at Target. They lost billions pleading with us to put them back on the market. Sure, Meta and Google was guilty too, but history and strategy told us that Target was our target. So we focused. Oh, we showed them what you showed us. How to move in a room full of vultures. Pay us what you owe us for all the years that you hold us. We made Target take notice. We not your token niggas. Nah, we not no side chick, slide chick. You got to fuck with us out in the open, nigga. We showed them black power. We showed them that our black dollar fuels this economy. So see, when you dismiss boycotting as picking and choosing and politicking as usual, you took a shot at me. When I know you proud of me, you gotta be. Because I followed the blueprint. So I know you meant to silence the haters, but they use it to discredit our movement and divide and deflate us. But nah, they can't play us because we smarter than that. That divide and conquer shit ain't gonna work over here. Y'all gotta come harder than that. Pause. So y'all can relax, because there's nothing to see here. Just a black man showing love to his brother. And let's be clear, even in disagreement, it's still love and respect, because it's black equity, black power, black love to the death. Peace, ho. This is my letter to.
What you think?
That's fire. Thank you for playing that. That's fire, yo. See, first thing, let me say this. I apologize. I apologize, song, for not watching the whole thing all the way through. I'm not gonna lie. I was Hove biased. I admit I was Hove biased in the moment where I was holding on my phone, and not to a point where I wasn't gonna watch it, but so much conversation about what our greats should and shouldn't do, that one side of me is always like, well, hey, who do you think has the best answers in that context? Like, who do you think has the best answers of what we feel like our greats do? And then the other side of me is like, yes, there is a level of accountability. If you're a fan of hip hop, if you're a fan of Jay-Z, if you're a fan of anybody who's done something great in your lifetime, then you also have the right to criticize as such. Nothing wrong with that. But for me, it's more so like, I would love for people to criticize with the proper facts if you can obtain that. Because at the same time, you know, during the strike, I'm not gonna lie, I was on the strike, but I did step in the Target a couple times, you know what I'm saying, to grab some, some products, you know what I mean? I did every now and then. But the overall layout, what my son was saying, and what a lot of people were saying even before, was like, we did make Target lose billions. So that stance right there, to me, is not just about Target, it's about every organization. If it's something that you guys are doing wrong to us, we have the right to take you out the game by not supporting you. Like, that's the biggest thing that I take from the whole Target layout. At the same time, I feel like people have to give some of our artists grace, because although Jay-Z, of course, owns his Reasonable Doubt in all his albums, he also appointed a team to be able to work on behalf of him to get the best deal from his work, from his IPs. So they may not be, I'm saying Jay-Z is not, but his team may not be as privy to say, let's not do this deal because this is what's happening with the boycott at Target. At the same time, the NFL situation too. There were whispers, and I don't know if it's true or not, but there were whispers that he was working on that deal prior to what was going on with Kaepernick. All I'm saying is, it's open for interpretation. It's open for conversation. But in my opinion, it's not open to slander our great, regardless of what they do business-wise. Because at the same time, if you walk into Target, and I'm going to say it again, I said it a couple times, if you walk into Target and you go to the music section, Jay-Z is not the only artist or the only great or the only hip-hop artist that's on those shelves. Just saying.
We was talking the other day, I brought up my copy of Reasonable Doubt. There's no reason I would be buying another one. Honestly, I do have two of them. And who the hell buys vinyl at Target anyway? Is what I want to know.
I agree.
so damn overpriced, man, and they have only the stuff that you know is going to be at Target. I remember I used to get CDs from Target. I boosted a few CDs from Target before.
I definitely did that for sure. Y'all not gonna beat over on us.
I haven't been in a Target in years and years and years. Well before any boycott or anything, and that's just mainly because there was nothing that I needed to get in Target. Anything that I needed, I could get from somewhere else. You know, why pay Target prices if I can go somewhere else and get it? You know, more budget friendly, make my dollar work more for me. But yeah, there's no way a Jay-Z album would get me to go in Target. Any Jay-Z album, whether a boycott was going on or not. I think nobody who's in tune with doing these deals on Jay-Z's behalf and him himself are that tone deaf to where they knew they wouldn't get backlash for selling, I guess, I don't know, step in the line of the boycott. Or even the NFL thing too. Like, regardless if he was working on that deal, I'm pretty sure he was, because he wants to buy a team. He wants to be, ownership group of a team. Like, just like with the Nets. Like, is he still in with the Nets?
I don't know. I don't even know.
And then, everybody was casting shit on him about that. It was like, he didn't bring the Nets there. Like, he was just the namesake, just like, people with the casino, just like Nas in the casino, even though, I don't get too far into the business stuff. So I just celebrate, the championship moves that I see when I see them.
Right. That's what I think, because even for me, like, and sorry, it's not to cut you off, but the thing for me is I celebrate what I know you for, which is the music. You know what I'm saying? I celebrate the music. I enjoy the music. If anything gets out of context in the music, that's my wheelhouse. That's my thing. When it gets to the business part of it, I do celebrate certain business moves that's being made. But for me, it's like, in order for me to say, hey, this is something you shouldn't have done, I need all the facts. I don't need to, for me, I don't just jump the gun, especially with people putting allegations on people and things like that. I don't jump the gun when it comes to stuff like that, because I wouldn't want somebody to jump the gun like that on me. To some allegations, and then y'all just think this is exactly who I am. Like, we're not doing none of that. So that's why I choose not to do it. And it's not just Jay-Z, it's to any artist that's on my radar of who I like. Any artist. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with Puff, when the tapes came out, you got me. You got it. Got it, bro. Soon as the tapes drop, you got it. You need to be where you at. Whatever your karma, you need to be where you at. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I operate. So across the board, love what my son did, because what he said was, he pretty much broke down that this is how we supported you. And then when you came with the Target freestyle, we were taken back only because we're moving by your lessons. And then you're telling us that you still going to do what you do regardless. Well, we still going to do what we do regardless. We're still going to boycott Target. We do what we do. So just don't confuse your supporters with your haters, because haters are lurking around us supporters. So just know who you get to. And I respect that, because that's a real thing. Like, yeah, I do have a problem with you supporting Target, however this situation went. But if you want to be clear that I am a hustler, this is what I do, regardless of moral purpose or whatever, then continue to stand on that, because I actually loved you for that stance that you had 30 years ago anyway. A hustler. That's what it is. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. Well said, man. That's how we're gonna close it out. People, thanks for watching. We want to leave y'all and share this one quote that we have. This is the Things Fall Apart show. And so we have a quote from the book by the great Chinua Achebe. That quote is, "To me, being an intellectual doesn't mean knowing about intellectual issues. It means taking pleasure in them." Do with that what y'all will, people. I am Frank 5D. Positive energy activates constant elevation. Poly Rob, workload.
Workload, you already know it's the Council Poly Rob, man. Things fall apart. Follow us on all our social platforms. You know what I mean?
That's what we got.